Hi everybody, it's Debbie with Basket Case Mama Fab Finds, and I am here today with a what sold video for August. The summertime was not very good this year, to be really fair, and just maybe my effort wasn't equaling what I was seeing in sales this year. Like the first year that I started doing this as a reseller, like really involved in it, was really different. I keep looking over, I don't know where I'm looking actually, but I'm trying to look at the camera. I started, really small, picking up some things, learning, finding your way. I keep saying I want to do a video about what to do and how to start and things, mistakes I made and things you shouldn't do. But, you're kind of learning and about like what sells and what doesn't sell. So there's a lot of, learning curve involved when you get started. And then the second year when I decided, okay, I got a better idea and I started picking up some more specific things and paying more attention to things like sell-through rates and what things sell for and how long things take to sell. And I started, being more more involved in, different areas because I do sell everything. I don't just sell in a niche. So every category has a lot of things to learn. So I was doing more, but this year I really was putting a concerted effort into sourcing and listing daily, and not daily, but trying to get stuff listed consistently and really pushing and doing more to build the business and get more sales. And the polar opposite had happened this year compared to last year when I wasn't nearly pushing as hard. So I really feel like my time invested versus the financial return this year, has been very different and pretty disappointing and frustrating, quite frankly. So I kind of shifted gears a little bit after this month and went back to focusing in more on my other business, which is really supposed to be the priority anyway, and kind of backburnering this a little bit. Even though fourth quarter's coming, it's going to do what it's going to do, but my time invested versus my income hourly has really taken a hit. I don't know if this is things that eBay's doing internally. I don't know if it's economic. I don't know if it's political, changes. And I say that because I worked for the state of New Jersey many years ago before I retired. And I worked at a quasi-state agency. But when there was a change in the governor of our state or a presidential change, you always saw a shift in the first year of that transition time where things kind of shifted as far as business was slow or things like that. So you always saw this shift because people were kind of waiting to see where all the cards lay, what was going to happen. Because there was always, every time a new politician, Democrat, Republican, Independent, makes no difference. They change things. And when they change things, and it doesn't matter if you agree with the changes or you don't agree with the changes, or they're good changes or bad changes, it makes no difference. When everybody knows there's going to be changes and there's money involved, whether it's personal, like end user money, which we are the end users, we purchase things retail, end user, or whether it's wholesale buying bulk things in order to resell them, or whether it's importing from other countries to sell in the American market, whatever those things are, all those people involved in all those different things involving money, hold tight a little bit just to wait, because with this president we've seen changes in tariffs, which has impacted greatly people that are importing or that are sellers that do drop shipping from other countries. It changes that dynamic. So people that sell on Amazon a lot or buy things from China to resell on Amazon are going to feel that money pinch because they're going to pay more to get it, even though it's really cheap to begin with. But they're still probably going to see a pop up in the price what they're paying, which means the items being resold will pop up in price as well. We've also seen a lot of shipping changes over the last year. The post office in the United States, the U.S. Postal Service, raised rates 4 times. maybe 5 times, but 4 times that I know personally affected me. That's a lot of changes in a year, and I'm not digging at the post office. I think they do a great job. Love them, hate them, be frustrated with them, whatever. I really do think our postal service here in the U.S. does a great job. They're like, the people at my post office are really nice. I mean, these people really work hard, and they have like a lot of extra burden around the holidays because they're helping Amazon deliver packages, and they like pick up slack for people as well. And I don't know, like I've heard that there was difficulty with that because of the way that pay was being done, but ultimately there are lots of other services to pick up, but those are the most reasonable rates. They really do a great job. So that I generally, anything within the U.S. I am shipping by USPS, and some stuff I ship overseas, but mostly I do that. So there have been a lot of changes, and there's a lot of different things. I'm sorry, my face itches. I'm on medication for my ears still. Yes, my ear still hurts. I don't know if anybody's even seen the videos of that yet, but I've had like an ear infection that turned into a double ear infection, and now I'm in drops in my ears. So this is like day 5. It's just been an ongoing saga of ear problems. And yes, I am trying to see an ENT. It's just going to take an act of Congress to get one of those appointments. So you see people changing how they are dealing with what they'll spend or what investments they'll make and things like that, just until they see if things are good or bad, how the economy is going to sway. And we're seeing, like, with current presidential things, there were a lot of big changes at the beginning, so a lot of people were like concerned, and the economy was pretty bizarre in the, going into this thing. There were a lot of numbers that were maybe, different than they turned out to be, whatever, and I'm not picking one side or the other, honestly, because when it comes to politics, I've learned over the years that most everybody isn't telling you the truth anytime at all. So I just wait and see on how things. And I think basically the country here, we're a wait and see kind of people, which is why we're seeing people not spending money so readily, holding on to it a little bit tighter, being careful a little bit about what they're buying, and being conscious of their purchases, which is kind of why sales are slow, I think. Although eBay did a lot of things this year. They just had a big open. Those of you that watch other videos, I'm sure you've heard there are going to be a lot of changes to the AI and how that's used within this program. And I think whenever they're making lots of changes, whether they want to admit it or not, it screws up sales. It just does every single time. It gets glitchy. Things don't work right. People get frustrated. People aren't seeing your stuff the way they would normally see it. And then you've got some of these weird sales we're going to see where apparently there's stuff that people hadn't seen, and now they see it. I'm just moving my little recording bar down so we can see. And we'll talk about that as we go. But I sold some things that have been listed literally since the beginning of time over this month. And not for big money, but literally they've been listed probably from the first week that I started doing this, which was in 2025, 24, 23. Would have been sometime in 2022 when I started doing this, really doing this. Now, mind you, I've been on eBay and selling things on eBay from the beginning of eBay. I sold things like my kids outgrew and things like that, more, personal online things. And during COVID, I was doing some sales to try to help my church on Facebook Marketplace and on eBay. But then myself, as like doing reselling, that has been since 2022. Don't ask me when, but sometime in 2022 I started. So this is my 3.5 year of doing this as a reseller. So anyway, we'll go through the sales really quick, and you'll see what I'm talking about, because the sales weren't great. There were a few good things, but there were some really weird old things that sold that like made me laugh. So for those of you that don't know, my inventory is numbered. I keep track of inventory on a spreadsheet. So my first thing that I listed was 001, and we're now in the mid 5,000s. Okay, just so you know, over the years. So when a year ends, I put a banner in my spreadsheet and says inventory for the next year, and it's like that color. It's like a hot pink band that tells me this is stuff that I bought in this year and this is stuff that I bought in the next year, just to keep track of it. And I remove the stuff that's sold and put that into a sold spreadsheet for the year. And then, the numbers stay the same, but they just I might not have, like, I don't have 5,700 things in inventory presently, but that's what number I'm on. That's how many things I've sold and listed as we've gone along here. So that's where, just this will help you as we go forward, trust me. Okay. So the very first thing that has sold here is this Christmas bear. It's a Barrington, and it's Franny Fraser. She's 12 inches tall, and as you can see, she's adorable. And she sold for the full ask at $22.99. All the things I sell are plus shipping, so the buyers are paying the shipping, okay? This is a set of Vera Bradley Kensington Paisley placemats and napkins. There are 4 of them. They're quilted. I was asking $50 and I took $30 for them. I did pay up for them. So because the stores in this area are horrific with their pricing, because I thought that I would get closer to $50, so I didn't make as much as I want, but I still made a little bit. And I'd had them a while, so I decided time for them to go. So this is a set of cherub heads, Victorian style. There were 5 of them. They were made of resin, and I took an offer of $14 on those. Now here's one of those things. This is a Jipper is the name of the brand. You can see in here the colors are so pretty. It's a ruffled neck tank top. It's got a handkerchief hem. That's the tag. I just thought the colors were beautiful, and it was super cute and flowy, and it was just really cute. This is before I paid any attention to anything when it came to brands. But I had it listed for $27.99, and that was based on sold comps from Poshmark and from other and from eBay. I took an offer of $20, but it's been listed. It's a 400 was its number. Okay, 478. So I had it a long time. That's probably from sometimes in 2022. So I took the offer. This is a Carter. It's a William Carter company. Lovey Bear. It's the diamond-shaped body. It's all fleece, and this sold for $29.98. This is a Germany laughing dog figurine. I picked it up at a flea market church sale last year in the fall. So I've had it just about a year, and this sold for $30 on an offer. And honestly, you can see he's very little. Look, my nails were done. My nails are never done, so that must have been near a special occasion. This is a sale of Carnival, Cambridge Carnival. It's 20-piece flatware set. It's atomic, mid-century, modern, lucite, all the words, stainless steel. I had it listed for $100, and I took an offer of 15% off for $85. This one is a vintage Francis E. velvet mouse Christmas ornament, and look at the eyelashes on this baby. Isn't she adorable? Look at that face. So it's made of velvet, and that's like embroidered, super cute satin tail. But I don't know if this, like, that's the designer tag on it. It's like an iron, the Francis E 1983, and then it came with this little tag on it too. And it said it was Noel, and it was signed by the artist. So I have no idea who this artist is. This is the cutest thing, though. It was really adorable. So, and it sold for the full price that I was asking, which was $17. This is a Russ Gusto Moose. There you go. I don't know. There. It's got like a terry cloth kind of ear on him. He's got a little scarf on. Show you the tag. Tag. There's the tag for Russ. His name is Gusto. There it is on the tag. And Gusto sold for $15.55. This is a Julia Muppet puppet from Sesame Street. Julia sold for an offer of $13. And I've had her for about a year and a half, too. So this sold pretty quickly. This was a bottle of Victoria's Secret Oh So Sexy perfume mini bottle, $15. This was my daughter's, new without box. She never used it. She got a bunch of little minis and in her stocking. So she's moved out. It's been 2.5 years now. I mean, she went to college, and now she lives with her boyfriend. So they have an apartment nearby. So anything was in her room, she said, just sell it if you can. So here we go. That sold for $15, and it sold pretty quick. This is a Hallmark plush convertible ball floppy legged flamingo. So when I got this, you might have seen the video of it. He's so cute. But there's like a little hole in his back. Get to it. Where is it? Where's the hole in his back? Because it turns into a ball. I didn't know why there is head sticking out of the hole, but I knew it had a hole in the back, but I thought it was like, is it a purse? Is it a wallet? What is it? You'll see that. So you can see the little hole there a little bit, like right there. That's like a little hook and loop pocket. So I had him listed for $12, and I took an offer of $8.50. So this is a Free People crocheted boho tank top, midriff. It's like open work. It's very pretty. It's like a gold metallic yarn type material. I had it listed for $25 and took an offer of $20. Tank tops generally don't do great and take them forever to sell. This literally sold in a week. So go figure. And Free People isn't doing as great as it used to either, but that one did. So yay. This is a cuddly stuffed nylon dog. It's made of like that parachute nylon material. It's by Tara Toys, and literally it was as big as my hand. It was like 6 inches. It was not big, and it sold for $40. Okay, so whenever you see anything made of parachute material, Puffalumps especially, they do very, very, very well. Some of them are worth hundreds of dollars. But anything made of them that has this color patchwork, whether it's bright or light, also terry cloth in the color block kind of thing, look for those. Most all of them do better than normal plush, so that they're good to keep an eye out for. Vintage Pimpernel coasters. This is corkback. I tend to pick up Pimpernel whenever I find it. If I get a decent price on it, it sells. It doesn't sell quickly, but it sells pretty consistently, and these sold for $15 for 5 of them. This is a book called Afterlife by John Edwards. He is a psychic medium. He used to have a TV show. Many people know who he is. This is from 2003, and it sold for $7.95. This is a Harlequin Bourbon Rocks glass. It's mid-century. It has this gold jester on it. It has all these little jewels on the outside of it. Definitely do not put this in your dishwasher, because all those little jewels are probably glued on and coming right off in the wash. Anyway, it's super cute. I picked it up at a thrift store. I think it was a Goodwill, and there was only one. I did look for another one. I've had it listed for a while for $35, and it did sell for $30 on an offer. Yes, $30 for one glass. So this is Ceramic Kitchen Big Nose Witch votive holder pumpkin figurine, and I am not body shaming her. It's just a fact, okay? Look at the nose on her. And she's ugly cute. She is ugly cute. So she's a votive holder. She's like a little egotistical too, because her picture is on, look, the picture of her is on the pumpkin instead of a jack-o'-lantern. Anyway, I was asking $30 and I took an offer of $25. So this is a tie. Those of you that know that I sell ties, and I pick them up because they're cheap and they're easy to find. And this one I picked up because it is advertising, and it is also a brand I hadn't heard of before. It's called Gosling's Black Seal. It's from Bermuda. It's silk. And it was just kind of interesting. It was black seal. This was like a rum, and it has little, as you can see, seals balancing rum barrels on their noses. And I had it. I picked it up for probably around $2. I had it listed for $20, and I took an offer of $15 and the man had a very nice note that it was for someone who had been in the Navy for a very long time. So I have another one that was a Navy one, so I was surprised they picked that one up. But there's people that are like Black Seal. They have a Black Seal license that work like on boilers and stuff too. So it's kind of dual interesting for some people. It's like you know, it's rum because I drink rum. It, you know, so it was, for that person, it was about the Navy. I don't know. But I think that was, you know, to each person, it is something, and that's all that matters. So this here is a New England pottery Ming Dynasty fishbowl. Chinoiserie is the word. That always makes my tongue not want to work. Last night I was having a terrible time talking. I was so tired. And it's a reproduction. It's not a real Ming Dynasty. It would be way more money, but it did sell for $30. These are Hallmark little flat bunnies. Yes, and they sold in August. They're pink and blue, as you can see. It's a lot of chew. I put like country and gingham and things like that into the thing, and very vintage, and they sold for an offer of $10. This is Little People Fisher Price Grumpy from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and it sold for $7.15. This is an Odie from Garfield, and Odie is from 1983, and he is one of those little guys that will clip onto things, and I do believe there's the tag there. You can see like Odie, and it says 78, 83. So it's copyrighted in 78. It was copyrighted again in 83, which means this one is probably from around 83. So that's why that's in the title, because that's the last date. But you can see, here he is. He's clipped on my finger. So you pinch him and he clips on. Your pencil toppers is another one. I put a clip-on hugger, whatever you want to put on it, but he sold for $15. This is a Lug, is the brand. Ranger is the type of bag it is. Quilted crossbody purse. It is a crossbody purse. It's not a, it does look a little backpacky, but it is actually a purse. It's got lots of pockets, as you can see. It's like a gray color, and it sold for $44.99. This is one of those other things that's been listed such a long time. So this is a Mary Engelbright. She does these like colorful, like little bits of black and white. And it's teapots. It's a tray. It's from the 1980s. Mary Engelbright stuff does do well, some of it. This wasn't one of it, okay, but it is a big tray, and it did cost a bit to ship, which is probably what affected its selling anyway. But it was listed for $15 and it sold for $10. Now, I had this on my list to pull to take better pictures, because this was one of the very first things that I listed. Its number is 029, okay? And this is when I took pictures in my dining room, and I didn't have any good lighting. This was my overhead light, made everything kind of orange, because this is not orange, it's like ivory. So I was going to pull it and take pictures because it was terrible pictures. And of course, as soon as I put it on the list to pull, it sold. So that's how that works. This is something that sold very quickly. This is a vintage wood Christmas ornament, hand painted. It's a little pilot. He's a peg head. He's so cute. Look at that face. I had a bunch of different ones of these. These are probably German, but they're not marked, of course. But he's super cute, and he was listed for $13, and I took an offer of $10 because I had literally pennies in him. I think he was 26 cents maybe. So this is an Experimental Aircraft Association 1989 patch for an air show in Oshkosh. It's not the people. It is the place where the baby jeans are made, but it's not the company. It's the place, okay? Oshkosh. So, and this one sold for a full ask at $8.99. I picked up a bunch of these patches on, I believe, Whatnot about a year ago. And a lady was doing a locker clean out, and she had this box of stuff that actually was not in the locker, or some of it was in the locker, but some of it was like her grandpa's or something. So she knew about some of it, and the rest she didn't know about it. And most all of it was either Korea, Vietnam, or World War II patches, but there were also some other patches in there. There were some Boy Scout patches, there were these air show patches and things like that. And I listed them, and with no, hopes that they would do well or anything, but I gotta say, old patches and pins do very well. I bought some Broadway pins, they did very well. So if you see them when you're out and about, if they're a really good price for a bunch of them and you've got pennies in, you'll get you'll make your money back quickly. I probably made my money. I think there were like 3 or 4 patches in there that were worth, one of them was worth $80. And I think I paid $10 for the entire box. So there, I've been in the profit a long time on this box of things. And they don't sell fast, but one will pay for all of them. So keep an eye out. This is also something that sold remarkably fast. This is a Mary Meyer hedgehog. Hedgehogs generally don't sell fast. This one did. It's Mary Meyer. Also doesn't sell fast, but this one did. It's a Marshmallow Zoo floppy stuffed animal. But Marshmallow Zoo apparently is something that people like. They're kind of frosty a little bit. Not that he's terrible frosty, but look, he's just cute. But he sold for full ask at $30, $29.99. This is an Ebba. And I'll show you the tag on here. I think that there it is, Ebba. And this is a lovey, as we all know. I like them. I pick them up all the time too. It's a security blanket, or it has a satin bottom, so the underside is satin. Satin always helps the price a little bit, but Ebba doesn't draw big money. Some of it might, but this one didn't. It's giraffes. I have quite a lot of giraffes. I think giraffes and elephants, I'm learning, are kind of harder sells. I don't know why. They're so cute, and who doesn't want jungle themed things in their kids' rooms? That's adorable. I don't know, just maybe that's just not it right now. Maybe next season it'll be jungle animals and they'll all move, who knows. But anyway, this little guy sold for an offer of $10. These also had a long time, but they were Dansk, and as you can see, they're really pretty. They're like soup bowls or cereal bowls. This is what where's the Dansk? There's your Dansk mark. Made in Sri Lanka. So there were 2, and I've had them. They're 8 inches. Let's see, probably about a year. But they sold for full ask at $85, which for you can be stored for $85 for a year. I'll give permission for that. Anyway, this is a chunky disc statement necklace. It was in a little bit condition, so I only had it listed for $10.85, but it was not my style at all. But look at those beads, are kind of cool. So I took lots of pictures and I listed it. I've been trying to list more jewelry, and so the jewelry numbers are different than the other numbers. They're on a separate list, but this item sold for $9. So, sorry about that. I had a little interruption, but this is another one of those very old listings that is very strange that like it's sold. So this is a pair of O'Neill Lopez freak shorts. They're swim trunks or board shorts, whatever you want to call them. I took an offer of $9.99 on them, but literally they've been listed since their number's like 377. Okay, so a long time, a very long time. This is a Girl Scout badge for pets. It's retired, and I sold it for $2. I used to be a Girl Scout leader, and I had a bunch of random patches laying around, so I just put them on eBay, and they're selling one by one, little by little. Another item I had a really long time. This was an under the cabinet Sony Space Saver CD player clock radio. It had super bass. It did not have its screws, but it has, all the other, everything else works. It's been tested. It was in nice condition, and it sold at long last for $44.99, but its number was 952. Okay, so a couple years it took. This is vintage plush purple elephant. It's from Animal Crackers. It is Eugene. I believe is Mighty Star, and it is very rare. I had a terrible time figuring out what it was. And there is the tag that has been cut. So no help there at all. I recognized the character. I knew it was a cartoon. So it took a long time, Google Lens and searching to find what it was and who made it. But it did sell for $30. And it sold quickly. Let me tell you, quickly. This is a Little Me cable blanket. It's an acrylic knit, cable knit, and it had a little teeny bobble there in the knit that I did show. There's the tags, and it sold for $20. This is a vintage 1971 Fisher-Price music box record player. It's number 995, and it has all 5 of the records, and it works. and it was tested, and I've had it a long time, and I got a bazillion lowball offers on this. Picked it up, I think, last summer at a yard sale, and I listed it. It sold before in this thing, and most of them don't have all the records. So I stood my ground, and I'm glad I did because I got full price, $90 for it. This is another one of those old ones. This is an Island Republic men's medium polo shirt. It's super soft, cream colored. There's the thing. I did pick up a bunch of board shorts and polo shirts the first year of doing this. I think none of them were really ideal, but live and learn. The one that I have that's really good hasn't sold either, so I don't understand sometimes. But this is $15, and it sold for $15. This is a Smooshy Pals stuffed pepper, and it's an anthropomorphic. That means it has a face like a human or looks like a human. It doesn't really look like a human, but it does have a face. And it's a vegetable, and it sold almost instantly for $25. Go figure. This is a Nat Nast silk shirt. It's got that bowling thing. It was Tony Soprano vibes. Don't ask me. I didn't watch the show, but that's what they tell me. So it's a large, and it was up for $85, and I had a guy lowball and lowball and lowball, and he kept coming up a little and coming up a little, and finally it sold for $60. It took a while though. It was a negotiation, let me tell you. This is a wheat brooch pin. It's brass or it's gold tone, whatever, and the little things spin a little bit. I know there's some, they don't spin, I don't think totally intentionally, but they do spin, so I put that in there. Provision and fertility is the symbol of wheat, so I put that in there as well, and it sold for the full price at $24.96. It did take a little while to sell. Jewelry doesn't move quickly either, but it sold, and I'm happy. Here's a weird one. This is a little lavender bunny. It's by Animal Adventure. It's purple and fuzzy, and it's not Easter, and it sold for full price at $12.22 in August. Another patch. This is an Army Air Force World War II training patch. It's felt. The felt ones are definitely older and more valued, and you can see the back. It's like this mesh. So if you are out looking, if you see felt ones like this that are, those are definitely older. Some of the very just cloth, like canvasy ones that are, you can tell they're old fabric, are also tend to be, more money. So this was listed for $14, and I took an offer of $12. This is a Steve Harvey necktie, floral silk jacquard, and it was 62 inches long. So Steve Harvey ties tend to be longer, made for tall men. Steve Harvey must be a tall guy. So that's something to note. I do pick them up because they are the nicest quality, good weight, really nice texture, really nice fabric quality, so nice. They also have this cool little gold tag here sewn on, plus a really nice logo. These are very much like the Donald Trump ties are made, which sell for much more money than these do. But if you can pick these up for $1, $2 at a yard sale, they do sell. This is like the third or fourth one I've sold in the $20 range, and they're just such a nice quality tie. And this is an older one because it has this in the tip, but I would pick them up. Tall ties are skinny ties are well liked, tall ties are well liked, and tall ties are anything past 60 inches in a length, and sometimes they're marked, sometimes they're not, so you have to measure them. But also the Art Deco ties sell. I'm actually listing a bunch of them right now. That'll probably be later today. This is an American Greetings vintage Christmas ornament. It was in the original box, but it was used. It's a little pocket watch with a mouse. Pocket watch is anthropomorphic, but I didn't have room for that. As you can see, the box isn't in great shape, but it does come with the box. Box was made in Hong Kong. The ornament's made in China. This is probably from the 80s, and it sold for $19.95. This is a Swaledale woolen British wool necktie. This is the opposite. This is 56 inches long, so this is not as long a tie. It does have a little fray there, so, but it doesn't have any been eaten. With the wool ties, really double check them carefully because you don't want them to have any indication. You can see the weave and the I guess it's called weft and stuff in the like little strings and stuff in the wool. It's very like almost rusticy in the. It's like a rougher, but it sold for $30 really quickly. And I say really quickly because ties don't do really quickly, but they sold really quickly in the sense of maybe a couple months, which is good for a tie. Especially this is tan. It's like, it's oatmeal colored. It's like all the things that are kind of not great for ties, but it's wool. And it's short too, which is also not great for ties. But it's wool and it's British and it's older and it's a unique brand. So those kinds of things will also move a tie when you don't think it will move. Anyway, this is one of those. So this is an Izod Cool Fix gray polo shirt. I literally pulled it out to take new pictures of it. It was in a pile and it was on the deck to take pictures and it sold. I just can't even begin to understand. So now this has had pictures taken relatively recently because it's not laying flat. Some of them are laying flat, but I was going to put it on I have a little half body now and give it a little oomph because I figured it would be nice to do better pictures. It sold for $12 and that was that. And it sold quick from, the time I pulled it. So sometimes just touch things and they'll sell faster. This is another one. And that one was number 119, the Izod, by the way. This is a Uniqlo pair of jeans. Nothing crazy about them. They were 33, 32s and in nice condition, and they sold for $25. And then last but not least was the find of the find here. This is a uranium glass goblet. It's footed, it glows in the dark. Look at the glow. And that's what it looks like when it's not glowing. That's not a little less exciting, but it glows. It's pretty. It's really pretty. It's in decent condition. That thing there is not a crack. It's like a little bubble up in the glass that's like a weird different color, orange, like it was hot or something. I don't know. Like it got caught in something when it was being molded. I don't know, but it's not. It's actually a piece of glass sticking up. So yeah, it glows pretty nice there. I literally listed it and it sold in a week, I want to say, for the full price. And I did get a lot of people looking. I even got a really low offer that I didn't take because I had just listed it. I hadn't even listed it a day and it had like 50 people looking at it. So I wasn't going to take a low offer. I was pretty confident it was going to sell for the full price, and it did. So those are all the things that sold this month in August. Like I said, not a terrible lot of them, maybe about 50 things. I'm not complaining, but normally it's far more than that. And I keep track of things and as I'm putting them together in a little notebook each month to do these videos, and then I take the information off of eBay to put into my spreadsheet. And it's just easier to go back and forth between screens because I have to do this and I can't be on the screen there and this screen too. So I just jot them down. It takes a minute. So I can tell by the number of pages that if it's a good month or a bad month. And this was like 2 pages and like 3 things. And in good months, it's like 3 or 4 pages. I want to say January was 2. February was 2.5 pages. Everything maybe it is 2.5 pages. I don't know. But this whole season's been kind of and not a lot of bread and butter. Like not a lot of big things. But this was a big thing. The record player was a big thing. So I'm like I said, I can't complain. It just feels a little different. That's all. So that's everything. And for those of you that don't know, I like it as a seller on eBay. I have a store on eBay. It looks like this. This is my new fall banner. Isn't it cute? And you can see like things that are on. And I do have a sale going on. If you're looking for plushies, they're on. I believe they're all on sale right now. So you can go pick some up before the holidays if you're looking for it. I have a whole bunch of them. So I also have lots of Christmas ornaments and cute things. So yeah, 25% is off on all the stuffed animals right now. So you can check that out if you're looking for those. Anyway, so that's everything that I can tell you today about my sales for the month. So I hope you found some interesting information here. I hope maybe it'll help you figure things out. Don't pay attention to this corner, that corner over there. Like that's my staging area. So that's just stuff I threw out of the way because I have so many bags in the corner staged for pictures right now. So, and I have some in my car I have to bring in to do the haul videos coming up. So there'll be a haul video coming out on Wednesday as usual. I think I released 2 this week though. So, trying to up the game a little bit on the videos, and then this will be coming out, and I'll be doing some other ones as we get into the holiday season. So keep an eye out. If you like this content, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate that. Subscribing is free. It is not a membership. It is just subscribing so you see when the channel posts things. It'll be in your subscriptions part of your YouTube channel. Okay, so thank you so much again for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks again.